So this will be the tale of the large format printer. It's at least come full circle for me now, so it's kind of interesting. I thought I just wanted to share it. So I ordered this from my engineer. I had Dr. Tori, as you've probably heard me talk about in the past, custom build this. My relationship with Dr. Tori started back when I was probably 6 months, maybe a year and a half into 3D printing, out of being in it, 5 years or something like that now. I'm losing track of time. Could even be 6, I don't know. Anyways, when I had met him and said, hey, you've got a 3D printer, that's kind of a crappy printer, like, let's talk about what would make a good printer. And we started going back and forth, and he started coming up with a motherboard and other designs for a 3D printer that are neat and unique, and we ended up going with some unique upgrades on this one. But we realized, and when I was getting into 3D printing, I had like Envision Tech reach out to me, and they were like, hey, buy our $50,000 dental printer, and it prints super fast, and it's 10 times faster than the old one, so you get more stuff done. You just have to talk to dental agencies and blah blah blah. And it all sounded great, and it's like, man, that's good money. These things can return on investment in 3 months. And some other kid bought one, and now he's got 3-4 in his garage, and he's now got a Lamborghini. And I was getting sold on the dream. But I don't have any credit, so I couldn't really afford it even if I wanted one. I'm getting pitched all these things, and this will happen if you're getting into a 3D printing business. You'll have, Keylance and Hexagon and, all these 3D scanner companies and all these 3D printer companies saying, hey, look at my stuff, buy it from us, you're a 3D printer or something, Sunel will hit you up, all these filament guys will hit you up. So you'll have to get ready for the ads related to 3D printing if you're doing this for a business. But I did meet a lady locally, and she had one of those Envision Tech machines, and her advice to me locally was like, hey Michael, you remind me of myself 15 years ago, and I made some decisions, and what I'm going to recommend you is not to buy one of these Envision Tech machines. She goes, what the market needs right now is large format printers. She goes, I'm turning down jobs because I don't have a large format printer. If you have one, I will send jobs to you. So that was a big light bulb for me, and I was like, okay. And we ended up, being able to get that one together for less than 10 grand, and it was closer to like 7,500, 8 grand. And then we got this one together for around the same price, but we're going to be reselling it at about 9,000 to 10,000. So interestingly enough, I had Tori begin this build for me back in February, and we were all thinking like, hey, 2 to 3 weeks after ordering all the parts, it'll be together and we'll be ready to go. And needless to say, Tori isn't a full-time 3D printer builder. He's not even a full-time 3D printer or anything. He is a full-time chiropractor, and I think he's actually now taken that part-time, and he's told me about 60-70% of his time doing the 3D printing stuff. So that's good, and he's able to spend some more time on it. But he so it had already been a little bit, and I had a client reach out to me, and he said, hey, I'm looking for a big format printer. These are the specs I need. And I was like, oh, interesting. That's actually perfectly what I am building for myself right now. And I guess, I can build another one for myself. If you want to buy it, I'll sell it to you. And he's like, awesome, great. And Dr. Tori told me about 2 weeks, and it should be ready. And this was in February. So, where we can point the finger at Dr. Tori given bad time estimates, no one can foresee some of the issues that were going to come of this. I mean, definitely, probably somebody who's been in prototyping and doing stuff could have foreseen, like, hey, giving optimistic time estimates, is unrealistic. I don't know if we should have told him 2 to 4 months back then, but Tori didn't think it was going to take that long. He told me sooner. I told him sooner. And just little problems had shown up here and there. One of the biggest things was this was operating, and the last biggest things was this was operating in like 130 degree garage. So the garage was getting super hot. It had the heat bed heating it up further, and we were getting heat creep, and we were getting the motherboard even overheating and whatnot. So we now have some ridiculous cooling down here, and it actually even has a squirrel fan as the main hot end fan. So it's blowing, I think it's like 4 times the amount of air that a normal hot end fan does, the little 4010s or even 4020s. So it's got some really nice features, and it's well tested. There's definitely some things that I still would personally change over what Dr. Tori did. This one is still a prototype, but it is nice, and it does seem to print pretty good. I got this off of it between last night. This looks really nice. I'm overall pleased with it. We had a little bit of a peel up of a booger there, but otherwise not bad at all. I think, we can print on aluminum. I don't see too many people doing it. Dr. Torrey seems to like it. Yeah, he's more of an engineer and builder. I'm more of the end user. I feel like I'm kind of the in-between between the engineers and the people building things and giving them to the consumers, and the consumers who are going to be ending up using them. So if you've got the builders and the engineers and the people designing things, and then the consumers and the people who are using it and wanting a great experience, I think I play a role in the middle to where, I'm using a ton of this stuff and I understand it well, and I understand it well enough that I can communicate with the engineers what would be better to give a better experience. So that's my goal. And my role in this is to make sure that this is user friendly and awesome and robust, and it's my engineer's job to make sure that it's got all the coolest, neatest features, and that it also is user friendly and clean and whatnot. This one clearly still prototype. We didn't dress it up as well as we otherwise would. A cage is optional, a case is optional, doors are optional, hiding the wires completely is optional, but this is what most bare bones large format printers look like. So we did get to see I did film a video, but I didn't post it on the beginning of this part, but it ended up working out, so that's cool. But this printer specifically is for sale. It is an 800 by 800. I think I might have stated in my last video it was 1,000. I was mistaken, it's an 800. It is slightly smaller than that one over there. That one's 1,000 by 1,600. We can build whatever size if you want a custom built format printer. This is now a kit that we will be reselling, and it's not going to take from February to 6 months later. All those bugs are now fixed. All the parts are designed and printed. We can literally just put this together in a matter of weeks or a month now. So that will be quite useful. This one specifically right here will sell for, like I said, about $9,000 to $10,000 if you're interested. You can purchase this. You can get a loan on it. I've got a company that'll finance you. So you don't even have to have all that money. You can finance this, and you can finance it through a company that reached out to me who finances machines. They finance machines for you. So that is an option if you have a line of credit. You can get this. It is a good producer. I'm honestly so the interesting story is this client had reached out to me, right, and trying to close all these loops. I apologize about my ranting. And he wanted the printer, and awesome, and it's obviously been forever. Well, the other week, I believe it was last week, he's like, hey, look, this is taking forever, rightfully so. And he had paid material cost for one of his test pieces to be printed on this. And, and this was back in like February, so he'd pay like $200, and he said he wanted some progress by today, or by yesterday, Friday. And I picked this up, and we were talking on a Thursday. I picked this up like on Monday or Tuesday. I think it was like Tuesday or something. So I've literally only had it 3 days, and it's my first time experiencing this printer and writing a profile for this printer and figuring out how it levels and likes it and where the low spots are on the bed, and if we can do height maps and different things. So I've literally just been learning this printer like a brand new printer for myself. This isn't something that I prototyped. This is something Dr. Torrey prototyped and built for me, and I'm gonna, make it good. But yeah, so I literally I got that test print off of it. It looks great. I figured out the leveling. I was going to section one of his pieces and tell him, hey, I'm literally printing your piece right now. Because his end test piece is like 3 days. It's going to take a while. So even if I had this on Tuesday and I started printing it immediately and it stuck to the bed and everything was just perfect right out of the box when I got it from Torrey, we would still be fighting if it actually would have made it. And we had storms and stuff. The storms had knocked out power one of those days, so that might have even interrupted it. So making that in 7 days, I thought he wanted progress. I didn't know he wanted the whole part. So that stinks. But he goes to tell me, And even before this, he told me, well, hey, since, we first met, it's been 6 months. Yeah, since you didn't get back to me within a month, I went ahead and bought a $30,000 printer. But I still want yours. Yours is really affordable. I can't find another one that size that cheap. So I'm still interested in buying it. And it's like, great. But you need to deliver, and it's been so long that I want you to deliver by next Friday. So if you don't deliver by next Friday, I want a refund. And it's like, okay, cool. And I was hoping that just meant like deliver on like, hey, the printer got delivered from Tori to me, and I'm now using it. It's literally just days away. And I kept him updated the past couple of days that I was doing tests and everything. But yeah, no. So when I went to slice this thing and everything this morning, I went to go text him and tell him, hey, I'm starting your print right now. The day after, he wanted results. He's just like, no, refund it. And it's like, man, like, that is the deal we agreed to. I agreed to it in text. Like, I'm totally fine with it. It sucks that I already refunded him now $200. But it's just like, are you sure? Like, it's literally right here. Like, we're talking about being 3 days late after you waited from February to, nearly September. Like, you don't want to, like, see it out one more week? I mean, you waited 12 weeks. You don't want to wait 13 weeks to get delivered? Okay, no, fair enough. But it's, yeah, honestly, I'm totally split between it, because the profits from the sale could have really, really helped my company. And that would have been great, and it wouldn't have been too much, but like literally just being able to turn this around, immediately purchase another one, and hopefully have it built within a month. And the little bit of money I would have made off of it could really be useful, because I'm not in a position to be refunding customers really, and I need to figure out how to generate more money. And this was one thing that I wanted to do, was resell these printers. So it was great to have the very first one prototyped and built to already be pre-sold, but now it's not. The positive thing about it, for me at least, is that I have a lot of large format work to do. I still have got to make like 9 of those, and that's way overdue. It should have been done a while ago. The Tahoe project had kind of held things up, and it would have been great to have had this to do that, and had that one doing other work, because that one is super reliable for me. This one will be too. I think it'll even be more reliable, but I've just got to get the tune exactly perfect. It's slightly different than this one, even though they're both running the same nozzle and a similar extruder. Surprisingly enough, the E-steps are different between the two, and different things. But yeah, so I've got work I can put on it, and that will help relieve some of the large format printing. I'm literally hopefully doubling my printing capacity when it comes to these large prints. So that is awesome. The about neutral side of it is, this is kind of a big machine, and I need to make sure I got a good spot for it. And this, I was thinking, would just be temporary for essentially a week now, less than a week. I've had it right here, but that is kind of a common area. That table back there has been taken over by dead printers, and printers that apparently clients don't want. Client asked me to buy his printer, and I'm like, no thank you, and he hadn't come back to pick it up, so I guess he just donated it. That's happened to a couple Enders now, where people just hate it so much they don't even come back to pick it up. After I'm like, I don't even want to buy it from you for $40. Yeah, so I was thinking this would be neat if I keep it here. I could put it up against the window and maybe get a different set of curtains that actually like maybe come out up top here and then around the printer, or maybe I just leave it kind of open. We are going to be approaching the winter months coming up. It's still going to be warm, but the temperatures in Texas have been going down a little bit. Okay, it's not 110, it's 100 or 90 today. But our ACs are able to keep up a lot more, and this would be kind of cool for people to be walking by and be like, whoa, what's being made on that big 3D printer? That'd be kind of neat. So that's maybe the wow factor I could get out of it. The negativity of this being here is this is taking a whole nother amount of power, and like there's a good chance that if I was actually using it for production, and like let's say I'm using this thing here, this is tied to a circuit on like this wall, so I think if someone busted up a welder while that thing's printing, The wel- the welder's actually probably on a different circuit, but like maybe the air compressors or something else plugged in over here, it might, flip the breaker and then pop this thing, and that wouldn't be good. So I might end up having to take this home. Um, I've got so many cats at the house, though. I'd be really pissed off if cats got around this thing and marked it or anything. I really don't want that to happen. That'd be annoying. I mean, it'd be easy enough to clean off, but I don't want to have to put it in a condition like that. I've got too many cats at my house. A couple litters have been born, and we're doing everything we can to get rid of them. But anyways, I'm ranting now. The gist of it is this is a tale about this 3D printer here and how it got here, and how I think it's funny and amusing that the deal was canceled after waiting, so long. If you waited, it's like standing in line at Six Flags for a ride that you paid, $20 to get on and do, and then you get right up to where you're next in line, and as you're watching the roller coaster go around the roller coaster, like literally, that car is going to come back empty out and it's your turn. You're just like, I'd rather take a refund and walk away. Like, that's what I feel like it's like. It's like you're literally so excited to get this and it's cool, but you want to walk away when it's your turn. Like, no worries. Like, the next person will definitely appreciate it and want it. I mean, this is built for any of you now. One of you could pick this printer up and own it. You can come by my shop, check it out. We'll probably be doing different videos on it in the future, so you'll know this thing. So, taking a drink. I'm going to do personally, since it's now officially mine and I'm not thinking, in my mindset, hey, this is somebody else's. There's going to be a couple of things I'm going to do to stiffen it up even further. It's already a pretty dang stiff printer, but there's little things I can do to improve on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But let me know what you think of this beast. Let me know if you're interested in buying it. You can reach out to me at my email and on my website. My email's at the top and bottom of my website. First off, the website is 3dprinteverything.net. 3dprinteverything.net. My email is 3dprints, plural, prints with an S, 3dprintseverything@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about this or do that. The best way to reach out to me is email. You can find my phone number online. I'm not going to say it out right now, but you can easily find it by going to my website and everything else like that. Feel free to call me if you want, but I do prefer emails right now, as I am getting a lot of incoming texts and phone calls. So I appreciate y'all's support, and hopefully I can keep this business going and still provide good content for you guys. But I definitely could use some support from the community in any way possible. I just don't exactly know how to ask or outreach any more than just saying, hey, a like, share, and subscribe, is in a little way helping for sure. So have a good day, guys, and I love you all.